Hello and welcome to AfterWyrd, where we talk about the strange, mysterious, downright bizarre stuff that we can't fit onto a regular episode. My name's Andy.
I mean, some people would say we just talk shit, which sums that up, but all right. My name's Craig.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit too, but I think it's an important one this week, especially because yeah, recently we chatted to Maxim, an author on supernatural phenomena, got various books out on the subject, but also a music journalist. And when we chatted to him, we were talking about Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and the impact of that on the fascination with the occult. And he was alive then, but as of recording this episode, Ozzy passed away yesterday. So that
Yeah.
is still pretty fresh. I mean, I know we've talked about it. I know you were a fan of the Osbournes sort of when it came out. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I was watching some clips from it yesterday. Still made me laugh. Ozzy's still funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, I made a post about this for those of you who follow the Wyrd Wessex Facebook page. You might have seen regarding sort of my feelings about it. I got into Ozzy when I was a teenager, and I was in quite a dark place. And then I discovered from a mixtape, um, Mr. Crowley, and there was a couple of other songs. I think "Shot in the Dark," Perry Mason, and a few others. Um, is most of his solo stuff, and I think "Paranoid" and "War Pigs" or something was on there. But it really hit me. I don't, I get a bit sad when celebrities die, and sort of we spoke earlier, just while we're having a chat about how, you get to that age when your icons and heroes start dying. But this one really hit me. I'm going to be honest. I had a listen and a bit of a cry about it yesterday. I mean, Ozzy had a huge impact on me, but I think I wanted to bring it up because of the impact he had on the celebration of the paranormal, celebration of the occult, you know? Um,
Yeah. And I think we did mention recently we were both not together, but at the same Ozfest. So we have seen
yeah.
him live as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the first time I saw him live. I'm guessing it's the first time you saw him live.
It's the only time I've seen him live, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we were at the same Ozfest 2002 at Donington Park. We worked out a while ago. We were both there,
Mm.
which obviously didn't know each other then, but maybe helped form the weirdness. But I
But yeah, I
remember
remember
feeling
seeing you across the pit, star-crossed lovers, as we call
that's
it.
it, exactly.
Yes. One day we'll
Um,
have imagine that, right? We're walking past and I go, mate, one day you're gonna have a podcast with me. And you're like, who the fuck was that?
yeah. Also,
What?
it's 2002. What the fuck's a podcast?
You'll find out.
Um, but yeah, I remember but seeing him, and bear in mind, I was into Ozzy, but I wasn't massively as into it. Like I didn't know a lot of the back catalogue, I just like
Yeah.
I was getting really into him. But he was like the epitome of like metal legend for me. But sort of bringing it back to the weird, it's the like he was a pioneer in a lot of ways, and like that early. And I was listening to some early Sabbath last night, and like the song Black Sabbath. Picture it. You've got this 1969, it's the end of like the hippie era, like the Beatles have dominated everything. And then you've got these guys from Birmingham just come on, and you've got that thunderstorm to start the track, and then that sort of
Yeah.
bow, 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 and just that real thunderous sort of, and the sort of the wail of that song is just unlike anything like anyone had heard. And it was kind of like horror and misery like encapsulated in a song, and it was just
Yeah.
people are just like what the and then like later on, like immediately you got all these Christian sort of groups in America like ban this filth sort of thing, getting accused of being a satanist, of making pacts with the devil, of making people take their own lives, that kind of thing. And he just kept rocking through it and sort of became known as the Prince of Darkness. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I
a
mean,
bit.
I'm not gonna pretend like I know like their back catalog, like I know some of their music. I'm not a huge fan or anything like that. But I do have a lot of respect for kind of like you say, like what he achieved. Like I think he kind of shows how almost anybody can do anything, right? Like you can
Yeah,
literally, if you decide you want to do something and you do it, then he just went out and he did it and he literally changed music.
yeah, forever, absolutely. Like he is, like you think of the big three, like the what do they call them? The unholy trinity or something like that. It was the first three in that sort of big movement. It was Zeppelin, Purple, and Sabbath.
Yeah,
But Sabbath are really the ones that kicked off metal.
yeah,
And I mean, all three have been connected to the occult, especially like Zeppelin. Um, but it was mostly Sabbath. They really lent into it. And then when they went different ways and Ozzy started his solo career, he didn't leave that behind. Like my Halloween playlist is still full of Ozzy's solo stuff, like Bark at the Moon and Mr. Crowley and stuff like that.
yeah.
And as I said, sort of Mr. Crowley, that was the first time I'd heard of Aleister Crowley. I had no idea who this person was, and that's where I learned about Aleister Crowley. And a few years later, I went down to the Boscastle Witchcraft Museum, and they've got Aleister Crowley's, or at least they had, his orb in there.
Yeah.
And like, I was excited to see it because it's relevant, but I was also excited to see it because, like, oh, this is what Ozzy was singing about. Um, but yeah, I think the modern fascination with the occult and witchcraft and all of that, as well as music, owes a massive amount to Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
Yes, it kind of epitomizes like I know what we call pop music today is not what you'd think of as Sabbath, but he popularized the genre and the all that dark shit.
Exactly, which I think is wonderful, really. It's sort of like it was an acceptable, well, not acceptable necessarily at the time in certain circles, way of tapping into that and being like, it's okay to celebrate this side of it. It's okay to be into this.
Mm.
So yeah, massive, massive impact on my life. And I think not just, as I said, not just music, but what we talk about. So yeah, just wanted to sort of bring that to attention and just, sort of what I feel that we owe Aussie as well as the sort of the music genre. So yeah, very sad about that, but what a life. And
Yeah.
the fact that he kind of knew he was on his way out. I mean, obviously he had Parkinson's, but he was also like quite adamant that wouldn't get him. But he was like, some people are saying, was it because he only did that final farewell show, like as of recording, just under 2 weeks, just
Yeah.
over 2 weeks ago. And some people say, well, maybe that's the exertion of that didn't help. And it's like, but there's videos of him like, sort of a few days later, and he seemed, not fine, but uh, and I think he
He
was
was also
holding on
he was
for
off
it.
his meds. He was off his
Yes,
meds because he
yeah,
said I heard a clip of him saying that he didn't like the fact that um basically the meds made him feel numb. He couldn't feel
yeah,
anything. And he was like I don't like how that feels, so I'm just going to put up with the pain. And I think partly so that he could perform and be at his best. He's like I don't
yeah.
want to be on stage and be numb. I want to feel. So
I mean, it was pure Aussie, even though obviously he couldn't walk, his voice has gone a lot. But like when he came up through that stage, like on a throne, he had to say, rather than just him on a wheelchair, they had him on like a
mm,
big fucking throne, just rising out of the stage, you know. And he was still like waving his arms, clapping, and sort of and yeah, some of the notes he couldn't hit, some he didn't try and hit and let the crowd sing it. But some of them it's like for someone who's like literally in hindsight 2 weeks away from death,
yeah.
like who's got all those problems, he was actually hitting some of them pretty damn well.
So
Um,
the next question is when do we clone him? Because you've already mentioned Ozzy on the show before.
that did. I wonder how much the value of those cans have gone up now. Weirdly,
Ah,
I got an ad for that, but that might have been because I've been watching a lot of Aussie stuff recently, the last couple of days. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it's only a matter of time, right? So if you, as we mentioned before, if you're willing to all join up to our Substack and get your friends to, maybe we can go towards getting one of those cans.
surely they've already gone. There weren't many, were there? Was it 10?
Yeah, well, we just got to buy one off someone else, haven't we? Yeah. Just yeah, help us out. We can get Ozzy on a regular spot on the podcast then,
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be a baby until, so it's not like you can fast grow clones. But yeah, no, that's but yeah, as I said, I just wanted to bring that up because quite poignant for me and yeah.
Should we do some weird
Uh,
news?
I reckon we should, unless you got anything else to talk about.
I wanted to. I'll quickly mention this article from Sky News actually because um, we don't have to go into it too much, but we often talk about AI and whether AI is capable of being up to much, shall we say, and whether it's just ripping off, other people's works, that kind of thing. So this is the Sky News article: "The King and AI. A humanoid robot has painted a picture of Charles."
I saw that. I didn't open it. That was one of the things I was looking at. But go on.
Yeah, so it's an artistic humanoid. It used advanced artificial intelligence algorithms and a robot arm and an oil canvas to create the image. So just thought I'd share because I thought it was interesting to
I
slightly
don't
creepy, I think.
I don't know whether it's creepy because I know a robot painted it.
I don't know. I
Is
think there was another one. Yeah, is that
yeah.
the Queen Elizabeth one?
Have they got a picture of the robot?
I
Ah,
Is that the robot? Wow, there you go. I don't know. I didn't want to go too much into it. I just thought it'd be fun to share. Just AI is now actually painting. It's not just taking elements on a screen
yeah,
and merging them. It's actually painting something presumably new, which is
absolutely. That's yeah, that is unsettling. That is unsettling.
yeah.
But again, how much of that is the fact that I know it's a robot, you know?
Anyway, yes. So that's that. I don't want to spend too much longer on that because I've got some better stories to do. I just thought it's worth mentioning.
No worries.
Did I
Uh,
mention the Cornish unicorn skull? I can't remember.
we have, but they might have just been in talk we've had. So
Okay, I won't go into it then, but there's an article that's worth looking at because a guy found a unicorn skull at St. Nectan's Glen near Tintagel, and he ended up swapping it for some beer at a pub in Salisbury, I believe it was.
how much beer?
They- I believe they said unlimited. The Stonehenge Inn pub in Salisbury offered unlimited beer in exchange for the skull. So yeah, just quickly, I'll show you what it looks like because again, can't remember if we've mentioned this one, but I don't want it to look like we missed it. So that is the unicorn skull. Some Viking reenactors might recognize the horn, at least. That's my drinking
Oh,
horn, I'm pretty sure. Glued to
it's
a skull by the looks of it.
he's glued it fairly well. It looks quite fused. It's nice.
But whether he made it or found it, I don't
I
know.
always thought, I always thought that unicorn horns came from the head rather than the nose.
That was on the head, but it bends
Was it?
downwards as well.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
looks a little bit further forward than I imagined. Um,
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I did. It's because we might have already spoke about it, so I'll just mention it briefly.
so I am, as of recording, haven't gone, but by the time this goes out, I will have gone. So I might try and stop by um, next week. I'm passing through Salisbury. If I've got time, I might stop by, see if I can have a look at ask to see their their horny skull.
Yeah, have you got a horny skull and can I see it?
um,
How much to sell it to Wyrd Wessex? That's you need to ask them.
I'll ask them. I'll ask them.
Or,
See what.
we could have it like on loan to the studio or something and they can have it back when they want. I'm not
I
being
think,
funny, but unlimited beer, I'm assuming it was unlimited beer that day rather than like whenever
yeah,
he comes back.
maybe he needs to. Maybe we need to buy it and then take it back to its and bury it in its native Cornwall
We will return it to Cornwall.
to break the curse that I'm assuming's attached to it.
I think you should offer to get it from them and we'll see whether the Witch Museum want it.
Good shout.
Because it
Keep
would
up,
fit better in there than in Salisbury.
keep updated. Sort of keep with us for updates on that.
Anyway, have you got anything weird to talk about other than Ozzy Osbourne?
No, I do love talking about Ozzy Osbourne, but I do have other weird bits as well. It's not just Ozzy.
Yeah,
Um,
weird bits. That's get that looked at, mate.
yeah, I was going to say some cream for that, some ointment. Um, so this is from the well-established news outlet Lad Bible,
Oh yeah,
and it's
incredible.
one of our favourite topics, definitely Becky's. Man made terrifying discovery after setting up camera to find out why food was going missing in his house.
This is gonna be a okay, yeah. No, I won't spoil it. Go on.
A man made a terrifying discovery after setting up camera to find out why food was going missing in his home. Back in 2009, so this is an old story, um, but
Mhm.
it's been recently published. Um, Actor Joe Cummings was living with his girlfriend in a New York apartment. Promising the story is every bit as weird and messed up as it seems, he explained that he kept on finding food was going missing that he wasn't sure he was eating. Now, I don't know if this is one of the incidents of this we've covered, but they all seem to play like this. So he even confronted his girlfriend, but she promised it wasn't her secretly snacking during the night either. But he didn't quite believe her, and so set up a video camera in the kitchen with a plan to catch her in the act. Although he did catch a woman eating his food, that woman wasn't his girlfriend. Shared to YouTube, the eerie footage shows someone slowly climbing out of a storage loft in the night, climbing down onto a table before doing her business in the room. That sounds weird. And by that, we mean she went for a wee. Oh, there you go. It's just as weird. In the sink, drank something from the fridge, and helped herself to items from the pantry.
All right, why the sink? Does he not have a toilet?
I guess, yeah, maybe it's too close to their bedroom.
I guess it's the flush. She's worried about
Yeah.
flushing.
Well, she doesn't have flush. If it's mellow, if it's yellow, let it mellow, right?
Not if it's someone else's, though. If you're in someone else's house and you don't want to be detected, you need to get rid of it. In the sink,
Yes.
you could probably it'll go down and no one will notice, right?
From your experience, making things even creepier, Joe even emerged at one point, and the unwelcome guest managed to hide herself from view. And watching the shocking footage, Joe said he immediately left his apartment and called the police, who came to investigate and escort her out. The police officers thought it looked as though she had been there for at least a couple of weeks. In the description, Joe said he had no idea who the woman was, and she didn't say much when the cops came and escorted her from the apartment. Apparently, she'd set up a little nook for herself with a blanket in a storage area that goes pretty deep back, with no connection to any outside ventilation. Asked how she must have gotten there, Joe wrote, "I have no idea. The only way she could have gotten in is through the window, as I'm on the top floor and there's a fire escape. The police think she was probably coming to rob me when I was gone and decided to stow away in the crawl space. Suppose it isn't the first time cops would come across something like this. It's thought she may have been there for at least a couple of weeks or potentially even longer. Afterwards, Joe decided not to press charges and felt bad for the feral woman. Well, that's something to keep you up at night. Um, I could
Hmm.
potentially show the video.
Whilst you're sharing, I'll mention actually if you want to know more about Phroggers, Andy wouldn't probably know about this, but there's another podcast called Killers, Cults, and Queens, which I
I
listened
know, I
to,
know, I know. I've heard it before.
and I haven't listened to part two yet, but they did an episode on Monday about a particular Frogger case. Part two will have come out today, actually. So yeah, if you want to hear a Frogger case from another podcast, I would recommend you check out Killers, Cults, and Queens.
Share. There we go. There she comes.
That's like something out of a horror film.
I'm waiting for it to start creeping down. You know,
She comes down and does the whole bent over backwards crawling across the floor thing.
head just turns around with like reflective eyes.
She's being like, obviously, she's trying to not be heard. So, like,
Yeah,
whoa. It's the long dark hair too. It kind of puts me in
yeah,
the realms of what was it called? The old Japanese horror.
yeah. Like the Ring or. Oh, here we go. Right. Keep watching at this point. She hears him coming.
Dude's lucky that he didn't get fucking murdered.
Right,
Jesus.
and then he
Which
leaves.
no spoilers, but Killers, Cults, and Queens
Yeah.
doesn't go so well for that guy, I can tell you.
Um.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it just cuts to the morning. Um, but there you
So
go.
yeah. So lock your loft doors is
Please do.
it's funny actually because like particularly on older properties, the lofts used to run from one house to another,
Yeah,
and
my old one did.
people used to lock the loft door, and I often would be looking thinking, why have you got to lock the loft door? And then yeah, okay, now I know.
Well, Ben lives next door to Pat and Amy, some friends of ours, for those listeners. Um, and I know before, like, one of them locked themselves out, so they had to go through the loft of the other person, drop into the house, and let themselves in. So,
Ooh.
yeah. So, yeah, luckily they know each other because that is ripe for a bit of frogging. Um, anyway,
Let's put a challenge on, Andy. Let's see whether you can drink your drink whilst I read this headline.
all right, ready,
Yeah.
go.
World's first sperm race in sticky situation after faking live event.
All right, I didn't choke. Wow. Okay, elaborate,
I
maybe.
must admit, this is a slightly older article, but yeah, I thought we couldn't not do this one. Um, it does say it's the one thing everyone on planet Earth's done once and only once: win a sperm race.
I like that. That's true.
We've all done it, right? Think about it.
Yep.
So yeah, when two students set out to repeat the achievement in a live race last week, it turned out to be a blockbuster event attracting huge numbers of spectators and cash bets of up to thousands of dollars each. But doubts have since been cast as to whether the contest was all it was made out to be. The contest held at the LA Center Studios on Friday, which again, I say this is slightly old, was it billed as a dash between two sperm along a microscopic racetrack, ending at a finish line. But a renowned fertility doctor has since said that videos purporting to show the sperm racing could not be footage of real human swimmers. He says, I look at sperm all day under the microscope, and these are not human sperm, said Dr. Stephen Poulter, medical director of Gold Coast IVF in New York.
Ah, they were just pygmy tadpoles, weren't they?
He says this is CGI, so we're back to that again.
Yeah.
Computer generated, citing differences in the proportions, their swim techniques, and the fact they move determinedly in one direction. He showed real footage of sperm in his lab, in which very different looking cells wiggled about in seemingly random directions. And he says, what's the real story, guys? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting out fake videos? He's saying that the organizers could have tracked the speed of real sperm and used CGI to transpose it into a racetrack. Yeah, he says a video journalist who attended the event for the Free Press has said he was told as much by PR representatives from organizers sperm racing. A document sent to Austin Jeffs reportedly stated, for added entertainment value, the live positions of the sperm are mapped onto a dynamic 3D model of the track, creating an engaging visual experience.
Hmm.
However,
That's
questions have been raised as to whether the live positions were indeed used, given sperm tend to dart around randomly or rather simply, their speed. Dr. Poulter compared it to having blindfolded men trying to run on a track, followed by a group of professional athletes racing along another track, basing their movements on the speed of the blindfolded men.
well, that's a weirdly specific way to put it, but I get it. I mean, that is the trouble, isn't it, with the AI thing and the sort of CGI stuff that they do. There's so much a ridiculous amount of fake stuff out there.
Mm. Mr. Jeffs also reported seeing pre-recorded clips of the race being uploaded onto the live video stream backstage, labeled with the name of the winner of each round. He says he confronted 17-year-old sperm racing co-founder Eric Zhu, and Mr. Zhu responded, so basically what happened is you have to collect sperm samples before, so they actually did this an hour before. Mr. Zhu insists that the sperm had still run a real race, even if it took place earlier in private. He says that the sperm's movement is indeed traced and rendered in real time, and what the spectators saw was a real race. So yeah, what do you
I guess
reckon? Real or not?
I think they're saying, well, you could say it's real because we used real sperm and then just sort of superimpose the footage of that onto a racetrack. So technically, you're watching. It's a technicality, but I imagine they very much sold it as watching two sperm in real time race. So
Doubt has also been cast as to whether the race could indeed be called a world first. A BBC Two programme, Lab Rats, hosted a similar contest in a pub in 2004, showing real zoomed-in microscoping footage in which sperm cells darted about erratically. Another was produced as part of the BBC's The Truth About Food in 2007. That's kind of weird that there's a food documentary with the sperm race, but all right. I guess for some
yeah,
people it's food.
or that they did it in a pub in the first one.
Hmm. Where else are you going to do it?
Yeah, in the bathroom
Um,
stalls.
Spokesman for sperm racing said, "We're proud to have launched a brand new sport that blends science, entertainment, and health education. While some early coverage may have misinterpreted parts of our broadcast format, we're transparently documented the entire process from verified lab footage to final race results. Sperm racing is a real competitive event filmed under controlled conditions and broadcast with full scientific integrity. We invite anyone curious to look deeper. We're building something the world's never seen before."
Um, yeah, I'll hold off on going to. I don't know if I'm quite ready to start betting on my favorite sperm yet, but
Don't know whether they show the actual footage.
This is enormous. Jimmy is off to the races. This might not even be close.
Oh my
All
God.
of those years of YouTube.
Who is that?
The feminist. The 800 credit score. Jimmy is long gone. No, his swimmers aren't even on the screen. This is a microscopic masterclass.
No.
Jimmy. Tag. Jimmy.
No.
Tag.
This commentary, man.
it's
Unbelievable!
Wow.
I believe that you're nuts, Jimmy.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Scratch that. Was that the sperm?
That is so violently American.
So yeah, there you go. That was my weird news.
I might just finish it there, the podcast, everything. Done. I'm done now.
Well, we
Uh,
did mention people cloning Ozzy earlier, and we've ended on sperm. There you go.
yeah, what? I think that is probably, I might save mine. I think that might be a good place to close that, actually.
Did you get too excited?
Got too excited. Got to go and clean up. Yeah.
Oh wow. There you go. I thought you'd like that.
Nice. Yeah,
End on a high.
I think I might something like that. I think I might save my weird news to the next one. So yeah, I can't top that. I'm speechless, mate. I'm speechless. You're gonna have to close the episode out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching and listening. And until next time.
Don't blame the owls, I guess, unless they're responsible for that atrocity.